Welcome back to the Bookshelf Odyssey and my special series I'm calling Distracted by Dickens. I've got a great guest again with me, and I'm not sure if this is her first time on or not because I don't know when the other video will come out yet. So anyway, I have Jess here from Dickens and Docs on Instagram. And you know what's going to happen when two Dickens fans get together here? We're going to just talk all day. So Jess, thanks again for coming back on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we were just talking about Dickens and some of our favorites. I mentioned that one of these videos I'll be looking at his short story collections that he did with other writers, and then you got all excited. So we wanted to make sure we got this for the episode. What were you going to say that about that his collection with others?
Yes. Well, we talked, in the other video, but
Hmm.
I do Dickens December every year with a couple of other Instagrammers who are wonderful, Christy at Critty Reads and Laura at Pixie Hallows. And it's so fun because we started out just reading A Christmas Carol, like that was kind of the main thing. And then we branched out and read a couple of his other works. And then we started reading a whole bunch of all kinds of Victorian authors with Dickens each time. So every time we tried to pick something Dickensian. And honestly, I had just in my mind this vision of like, his standard novels and then Christmas Carol and his Christmas stories. But every year we keep finding some new collaboration he did with someone or
Hmm.
a short story or just like he has quite a bit of interesting stuff. I feel like Dickens would have been an incredible booktuber or Instagrammer because he loved to collaborate and he loved involving a lot of people in his projects and he loved pulling the best of the best into his work.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things is to discover his friends who authored with him and helped him in what he did.
That's been one of my favorite things as well. I'm right now. I'm working on collecting some books of his collections. Like there's the
Uh-huh.
uh, Christmas stories around the fire, or stories for around the Christmas fire, and then around a story. There we go. Around the stories
Something with Christmas
of the
and
Christmas fire. I don't know. And then there's the the boy, I am just blanking on all these names
no,
now.
that's okay. He has so many.
Yeah,
He has
yeah.
like I mean the plays he wrote
There you go.
with Wilkie Collins. They
Yeah,
collaborated a
like
lot. Yeah, what is that one?
so. This is another round of stories by the Christmas fire. Um,
I love it.
what's neat is I've been finding these collections, and then there's like the inn at Holly Tree Lane or something.
Uh,
Um, those collaborations he's done, I'll often find the stories that he's written for those, but they're missing the other writers.
Yes,
So
that's the frustrating thing. My husband
yeah.
bought me, and I love it. If he watches this, thank you for. He bought me for Christmas a few years back. He said you can't be Dickens and Docs without having all of Dickens' works, and so he bought me a complete set, like the green 1970s Centennial Edition.
Oh,
He
sure.
found
Hmm.
all of them and had them all come for Christmas, and it was like the best Christmas ever. And I love it so much. But a lot of his collaboration ones, the ones with Wilkie Collins, I think those are mostly in there. But there are several where it's just his story from the haunted house or
Hmm.
House to Let, and then you miss the whole vision of what he was actually doing when you don't have the other authors in there.
Right. Yeah, I've got the haunted house as well. That
Mhm.
was actually the first one I found, and then I realized I'm like, oh, he's got all the stories. So I had to really do some digging, but I'm slowly starting to get them. So this was my latest one, and I'm kind of repeating myself from a previous video that'll be out. But I wanted to find the one of Dr. Marigold. Have you read that story?
I haven't read that one. See,
Oh,
there's still more every time. I think I've got it
yeah.
all down. I haven't.
That one, and I just found a book on eBay that I think it's the same company that does this one, which I
Uh-huh.
really like. They're small,
Yeah, that's
very
beautiful.
very portable, really well made. And so it has all the stories in it as well. But so Dickens would make like these like beginning and ending chapters, and then
Yeah.
yeah. And so this one, Dr. Marigold is what they called a cheap jack, basically like a guy who travels around with junk and tries to auction it off to people to
Okay.
sell. Um, there's a lot that happens in the story in just a short story. He gets married to an ill-tempered woman. They had a daughter, but I believe both died. Anyway, so along the way, he adopts an orphan who's deaf and is unable to speak, and so he learns to communicate with her. And then the bridge is all the stories that were included. He like writes down all these stories for her to read as
Oh,
a way
okay.
to
That's what
entertain her.
connects them all together.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
interesting. Okay, I need to read that one too.
yeah. But on its own, this is one that does stand well on its own. If you
Hmm.
read, because you can find the Dr. Marigold story, it'll be like part one and part two or something. But
Yeah.
uh, the just his relationship with her and how much he cares for her and all that he does and sacrifices for his adopted daughter is just so powerful. And it's one that I don't hear people mention a lot, but I think it's really, if there's any story of Dickens that's underrated, I think this one might count. It's
I'm so glad you told me about it because yeah, that I'm
yeah.
ashamed I don't know it.
Oh, well, I didn't know about it either, and I actually heard about it from. Um, I had a chance to see Gerald Dickens do a one man
Are you
reading of it.
serious? Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
jealous.
Oh
That's
my
so
goodness, that's a whole other thing I got to talk about.
that's
Yeah,
all.
he would come to Omaha, which is near where I live, and he would do this yearly reading of A Christmas Carol, and he travels around the United States. And I think somebody asked him about what's his favorite story, and that was one he mentioned as being. He's like, I don't think a lot of people have read this, but if you ever get a chance to read Dr. Marigold, you should. And my
Ah,
wife looks at me, and I'm like, I've never read it, and so I'm like, all right, well, I gotta read this. I
next
can't
purchase
be.
I'm making.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Cool.
so I had a chance to see him perform 7 or 8 times now.
Are you serious? Oh, that's so
It's been such a delight. He's so generous with his time afterwards. He you know will be out in the foyer and autograph things, and so
uh-huh.
like every year I bring a new edition of A Christmas Carol for him to autograph, and
So neat. Oh, I've got to look up
and
where he's traveling. I would love to go see him.
yeah, yeah. If you ever get a chance, it is worth it. He actually does one man shows of different things, and he does a Dr. Marigold performance as well, which I haven't been able to see yet. But
Be very
um,
cool.
also, just to plug my Christmas podcast I have, I during the pandemic I had a chance to interview him over Zoom for one of my episodes, and that was just like a highlight of my life. Just
Oh, I'm gonna have to go find that. How fun. That's
yeah.
wonderful.
I'm like I can die a happy man now.
You ticked off all the bucket list things.
That's right. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So part of me if I fanboy too much over Dickens, but when your favorite writer's been dead for 200 years, you're never gonna get to meet him. So
Yeah. You
getting
gotta
to
talk
meet,
about it with everyone you can.
yeah, getting to meet his great great grandson it was a close second. That was, but Gerald Dickens himself is just such a great performer, and
Mhm.
he performs Dickens so well. Uh, you would hope, as a family member, but
Yeah, I'm sure he has mannerisms and things he's inherited, so
sure,
probably as
yeah.
close as you can get to seeing the real thing.
Yeah, he's also written a couple books, nonfiction. One is
Okay.
about the train crash Dickens had.
Yes. Okay, that
Um,
would be interesting.
yeah, and then another one is just his like kind of like a his memoir diary journals of his experience performing A Christmas Carol on the road and all the travel he does, the people he's met. It's
Oh, interesting.
he's joked because almost every time somebody asks him, would you ever write books like your great great grandfather? And he'd always joke, well, I don't think I could ever come close to being as good as he was, so why bother?
Don't even try. But it
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
like he has a lot of him in him because that's what Dickens did, especially towards the
Yep,
end.
yep.
That traveling and performing and
Yeah.
wearing himself out performing. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, he's talked about when he would do the Sykes and Nancy murder
Yes,
scene, and that
a
Dickens would
lot of
be
emotional.
so powerful in that role that
Mhm.
uh, Dickens said he would judge his success by how many women he got to faint in the crowd from.
Oh man, what a performer! I think he
Yeah.
is fascinating as a person, and the fact that I think he kind of wanted to pursue a career acting
Hmm.
originally, right? And then he couldn't, and
Right.
but that was just in him, and it comes out in his works. Don't you feel that way when you read his books? They're
Yeah.
so you can visualize them really well. They lend themselves well to film adaptations because all the characters are really set up to be what they end up looking like on screen, and
Right.
dialogue and everything. It all feels very sort of theatrical.
Yeah. Oh yeah. His this story I've of his wanting to be an actor. He actually was going to go and try out when he was young at a well, early 20s. Sorry, my camera's shaking. Uh, in his to a local theater, and I can't remember all the details exactly, but he had was going to go and try out, but he woke up sick, and so he didn't have a voice. So he's like, well, I'm going to have to. I'll try next year. And then in that year, he publishes his first short stories and
Mhm.
quickly realizes he's got a talent for writing. And if ever there was a well timed virus that
Right.
strikes,
Thank goodness for that cold.
right? Yeah.
We may
Um,
never.
in his daughter's book, Mammy Dickens wrote, "My father, as I recall him."
Oh
Um,
yes,
I think it was in that one. She writes about how she would see him like
like
performing
in
in
front of
front
the
of the
mirror.
mirror,
Yes.
as he's
Oh, I love
writing.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are some who say that's maybe a made up story, but I'm going to say it's true.
I
So,
feel like it probably happened.
yeah.
I like to think it did.
Yeah. Yeah, he's dead now, so it doesn't matter. We can we can
Right,
make
we
up
can say
stories.
whatever we want to.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
you been to Dickens House Museum in London?
No, no.
You need to
Um,
go. You would love it. There is a mirror there, and of course we don't know, but yeah. I stood
yeah.
in front of it. I was like, this could have been the one where he was performing his works.
I really want to go someday. So,
Me too. You really need to. It's so great.
yeah, my wife and I have this mental bucket list that if we ever got to England, there's places we want to go. And we start talking about all the places we want to go, and it's like we might have to move there for a
Like
while.
there's just too much. Oh, I know. I know how
Yeah.
it is. I've been a couple times and I never feel like I've exhausted the things I want to do. I go back
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, yeah.
So much.
Um I had a there's been a couple videos and things, and I thought the museum actually had a like a 3D tour of the museum itself.
Oh, I bet they
Um
do.
I can't remember where I saw that now, but so I did that, and I've watched some videos of people walking through, and
Uh-huh.
so I feel like I already know my way around a little bit.
Already familiar.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope you get
Um,
to.
I'm sure if Dickens was alive today, he'd have a restraining order against me. I don't know.
Or could just be really excited to talk to somebody else who
Right, right.
enthusiastic about it.
He talks about if you read his account of coming to America, what is
I
it?
haven't read it, but I've read bits of it. Yeah.
Yeah. He talks about people walking, like coming up and like grabbing clips of hair off of him and
Goodness.
stuff, and just that celebrity
And that
he
would have been
had.
you.
Yeah, right. Like waiting outside his hotel window, hey,
Hey. Oh
I'm your
man.
biggest fan. But yeah, yeah. Um, with that, it's and the more I read about him, the more I realize, he's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. He had his flaws. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I find that that's part of what I find curious about him. That he could be such a passionate and compassionate man towards
Mhm.
others, but then sometimes it's like his own family he really struggled with.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is my only caveat with Dickens is like I love him, but I also am like, oh, but why?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yes.
you were kind of a jerk, you know?
Yeah, I know. And it makes me so sad because I feel like I don't know how he was his whole life, but I like to think that that was maybe just part of, I don't know, age
Mm.
and some mental breakdown stuff is how I like to think of it because I'm like, it's
Yeah.
just so sad. You were such a great guy. But I still, and I feel like that's something that maybe for me, I can separate that from the works. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it makes me sad, but I also still think he created some amazing things even during that time. Like some of my favorite works are from later in his life when
Mm.
he was not acting as I wish he would have acted, but he did
Yeah.
write some stuff.
Right. It's, some of it too. You got to wonder, and some that I've read have speculated about him maybe having, um, well, very likely PTSD from several
Yes.
events in his life.
Yeah.
Um, the mental issues, like I know some have thought maybe he could have been bipolar or different things, and
Mhm.
you get these manic depressive swings that he would go on, and um, we just don't know
Yeah.
because medicine hadn't caught up to that yet. I think there's certainly a case to be made for the trauma he experienced, both as a child and later
Mhm.
as an adult. Um, several events I think
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. Especially that train wreck, but yeah, other things as
Yeah.
well. And really what is amazing about him is knowing the childhood trauma and the difficult things he went through and the Oliver Twist kind of experience that he had
Hmm.
as a young boy and to rise above that and make beauty from the ashes of that with all the
Hmm.
stories and all the social change that he helped to affect. That to me is amazing. And I feel like that you know, when we meet him in the next life, I feel like all those things they will add up to something because really
Hmm.
he's a pretty marvelous person
Hmm.
taken as a whole, you know.
Yeah. And I mean, my parents divorced, and and so I witnessed how
Mhm.
even two people who are really nice can't be nice to each other.
Hmm.
And I see some of that even in the way he related to his wife.
Yeah,
And it's something about that closeness that can make you the worst of enemies.
I know. It's so sad.
Yeah.
So sad, especially for how well he understood human nature and human character. Sometimes it's still difficult to be the best human that you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well.
that's why I feel like I love his work so much. I remember as a kid when I think I talked about this in the other video, but how I came to Dickens was through my mom and dad both loved the film adaptations that were available at the time. Like there's an Anthony Hopkins Great Expectations. Have you seen that one?
Um. Yes.
It's
And
older.
actually, I think that was the one that of the trailer I saw or heard.
Okay,
That.
that got you
Yeah.
interested in reading.
Yeah.
That was my first Dickens and of course Christmas Carol. But I just feel like what was I saying about it? That oh yeah, watching my mom study Dickens and feeling like and I remember having conversations with her about the characters and just feeling like aren't there times when you have just a little bit of this character in you? And we talk about how every character of Dickens is sort of almost like a caricature of a certain vice or a virtue. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And we all have a little bit of that in us. There's just a little bit of a Bella Wilfer in me. You know, there's a little bit of whatever the character is. And and that's why I love Dickens, is because you can see yourself in all of them, but also you're not going to go as extreme as his characters are. They're just sort of like there to kind of help you see what happens when you go to the extremes and then kind of make a better choice. Does that make sense? I
Hmm.
don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
But that's one of the things
absolutely.
I love about him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I've read A Christmas Carol 25 times. I don't know, so many times. I've got
Same
pages
here.
memorized. Yeah. And and every time I'm cheering him on to redeem every time, and there are moments where I look at myself and think, "Oh, I'm being a Scrooge today, but not the good not the good kind."
The good,
I'm
and not
really,
the end Scrooge.
yeah, not the end Scrooge. Yeah. Um, I just read Pickwick Papers in August and September, and just what a wonderful book that was,
Delightful,
and
isn't
yeah, and
it?
the different characters. I can be like, yeah, identify with you today about this, or Mr. Tupman, Mr. Pickwick, Sam Weller.
Love Sam Willis. He's
Oh
so
my
great.
goodness. the older I get, the more I really appreciate Weller's outlook on
Uh-huh.
life. I don't know.
Right.
And then his dad, who is like an underrated character in that book. Everyone talks about Sam Weller, but his dad is hilarious.
His dad is great. His dad reminds me of some of the later characters that Dickens creates. Like, oh, what's the guy's name from Dombey and Son? The sea captain guy, Captain
Yeah,
Cuttle. I don't know
Cuddle. Yeah,
why. Are they similar? It's been a while since I read Pickwick, but I
I could
feel
see
like it
that. Yeah,
kind of reminded
yeah.
me of that. Oh, so many great characters. What's your favorite Dickens work overall?
Well, I always say A Christmas Carol, but some people say, well, that's just a Christmas book. You can't count that one. So, my favorite is right now, A Tale of Two Cities.
Mm,
Um, it's especially as you get to the ending chapters, it is so beautiful. It's the language and visuals of like redemption and
mhm.
all that happens
Endings.
there. Yeah. Oh,
It
so
is
beautifully
beautiful.
done.
Yes.
Um, Pickwick is actually really going up on my list. And there's a bit of basicness in me too because I like Great Expectations and I like David Copperfield. Those are his
Yeah.
probably two
You can't not like
masterpieces.
David Copperfield if you like Dickens, because
Yeah,
that's so autobiographical.
yeah, yeah. Now, do you have a favorite or?
It's so hard because like you, like A Christmas Carol, I feel like is the most perfect Dickens. It's got
Hmm.
everything in a small package and it's just flawless in my mind. But also it's hard for me to pick just one favorite because I kind of, it's sort of like whichever one I've read the most recently, but I've decided I have like a tier, like a top tier and medium tier and then bottom tier, which
Hmm.
is still some of my favorite books ever. So it's all
Right.
high. But top tier for me, I think my very favorite ones. I did a reread of all of his works over the past 5 years or so with Sabine from Sabine's Literary World on Instagram, and we read them in publication order
Hmm.
and in publication segments. So not quite as slowly as they were published, of course, but like that. And
Hmm.
it was so fun to see his growth. And I decided that my favorites overall were Our Mutual Friend is probably my very, very favorite because it has everything in it. It has like romance and it has really fleshed out characters and great mystery. But I also love Little Dorrit and Dombey and Son are two of my top tier, as well as David Copperfield and Great Expectations. It's hard because then I get started and then I'm like, well, they're basically all top tier. So
Yeah.
what do I put down
You,
below?
before you know it, you've just listed like half of
I
his
know
books.
that's like
Yeah.
half the books, so never mind. There
Yeah.
goes that theory.
No, I like Little Dorrit too. That's probably in my that's one of the it's one of the five books in my top three favorites. that,
I
that
know you
makes
have to
sense.
categorize all the favorites. They're just too
Yeah.
many.
Um I I actually think did I watch the miniseries first?
Mm.
I'm not sure what order I did that in now, but I know I love the miniseries they did with Claire Foy, I think is her
Yeah,
name.
Claire Foy
Yeah,
and Matthew McFadden.
yeah.
Yeah,
There are some days you might find me saying the miniseries is almost better than the book, but
it's a really well done. You have Andy
yeah,
Serkis, the villain in that one.
yes,
Oh my goodness.
yes.
Yeah,
Well,
that is a very, very excellent adaptation. I
yeah.
feel like Dickens is one of the rare ones where I don't think there's a problem with watching the adaptation first.
Hmm.
Like I
Hmm.
usually like the book first and then the movie. But with those, I feel like if you either way, you can approach it either way. And if you watch the adaptation first and then read the book, then you can actually understand what's going on better sometimes because
Hmm.
his plots are convoluted and he has lots of different side plots and characters. So sometimes seeing it, and especially a really well done version like that one, or Bleak House, I'm sure you've seen that one too,
Hmm.
is really good. And yeah, sometimes it helps. Not all the
Yeah.
great expectations are created equal, but
Well, yeah, there's that. Oh,
a couple of weird ones. But yeah, there's no shame in that.
right, right. Yeah, there was a really bizarre Christmas Carol done just a couple years ago with Guy Pearce.
My goodness, I can't
Uh,
even watch it. Yeah, I know
yeah,
which one.
you know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Huh?
I watched it and
Did you
I'm like,
see?
well, that's a thing they did. There were some things in there that I liked, but I think one of the main problems is they made Scrooge too unredeemable.
Mm,
Like he was borderline abusive towards Bob's wife for some reason, like sexually abusive, and I'm like,
what the heck? That was
"Mm,
not anywhere implied.
that's
That's
not."
just a bridge too far.
Yeah, I know, and it's like I can't get behind this guy's redemption now. I mean, that was just too much, and yeah,
No,
but
that's too
I don't
bad. I
know.
know. I saw that one. I actually did a video um where I made my family watch like 25 adaptations or something of A Christmas Carol one year, and oh, they loved it, and then we were like, we better not watch Christmas Carol for a little while after that. But it
Yeah.
was so fun. We watched her start with the really old, really, really old ones, like the 10-minute black and white, no
Hmm.
sound ones. And then we worked our way through, but I couldn't bring myself to do that one. I'm just like, this is a little too dark for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah, that was really dark. And I try to like judge it on its own as well, not so much as an adaptation, but even on its own, I'm not sure I enjoyed it. It's just it's unnecessarily dark.
yeah. Well, the whole
Um,
point of the story is that feeling of light and redemption by the end that makes you want to be a better person. And
right.
it's handled too heavily, then that's hard to get to that point.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Um, I think fans of Wuthering Heights are going to experience that same thing this
No kidding.
next year. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There are just
I
some things that should not be done.
I I cannot wait to watch all the booktube response videos
Right.
to that movie.
Oh man, yeah. That's another one
I,
that I just don't think I'm going to be able to watch. I started the
yeah.
trailer and I was like, no, thank you.
Was, uh, Kate Howe told us, she's like, I don't think I was old enough to watch that trailer.
Right? That's how I felt too. Like, nope, nope.
Yeah.
Beyond what I ever want to see.
um, yeah, I always like to say in my videos that I have Victorian sensibilities, so
Yes.
such things are not to be pondered on. So
Very well said. That's how I
yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Do you have a favorite Dickens character?
Oh, Dickens' character. Yes, actually. I think it's Lizzie Hexam from Our
Hmm.
Mutual Friend.
Yeah.
Is yeah, is I think I mean she's my favorite good character.
Yeah.
Because I love her because she isn't just good, like she's had to go through a lot of hard things to get to where she is.
Mm.
Like she's had a really tough life and then she is so kind and inspires Bella, who I also really love. Yeah, that's probably my favorite. But I also oh, they're all the good ones. Joe
Yeah.
Gardry, I love him too.
Hmm.
He's another one that is just wonderful. But I also have like favorite villains. Like I think Pecksniff is hilarious and I love to hate him. So,
Hmm.
do you have a favorite?
Sure. Yeah. Let's go through the list.
I know
But
we're gonna have
I
another
know.
20
Yeah.
minutes.
Right. Honestly, again, I love Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah.
Um, and he's just a brilliant character. And I'll mention again Dr. Marigold. He's a great character. I love that his first name is Doctor. Because
Really? So he's not a
yeah,
doctor.
no, he's not a doctor. His name is Doctor. He was his. I think he says it's his parents named him after the man who delivered him, so he's named Doctor.
Sounds
Uh,
very Dickensian. I love
yeah.
it.
Um, what I love about him is just his kindness and compassion he shows everyone, especially the daughter he adopts, and how he sacrifices for her, to get her help that she needs. That it's just beautiful. I find Mr. Macabre kind of relatable sometimes.
Right? Especially with finances, I get it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure something will come up, you know.
Oh,
um, for villains, he does villains so well too.
he has a lot of good.
Um, Madame Deforge in Tale of Two Cities, she gives me the creeps.
She is very chilling, yes.
Yeah, she's not. I did a reread recently, and she wasn't in it as much as I thought.
Yeah.
But when she just chills me to the bones. Honestly, I love how uncomfortable Uriah Heep makes me feel.
Oh, yes. Oh, I actually just got chills
I
thinking
know.
about it. He's so creepy.
He's so
Oh,
creepy. And uh, I read this. Apparently, the name Uriah really fell out of popularity thanks to Dickens and his character. That's
that's too bad for all
that's
the Uriahs out there.
I know that's something I had read in one of the many books on my shelf here, and I'm like, oh, that's funny, but kind of sad. Yeah.
It makes sense. Ooh, you know who I also love is Flora Casby, I think is her name, from Little Dorrit. The
Mm,
lady who she used to be in love with Arthur Clenham, and
mhm,
then she grew old and never married, or she married somebody else, and then she kind of just went to sea a little bit, but she talks so much. And there is an amazing audiobook on LibriVox read by Mill Nicholson, who I will say is so good at reading Dickens. It's like she was made to
mhm.
read Dickens, and they're all free. But anyway, her voice for Flora Casby is so funny. She has these big long run-on sentences. She keeps going on and doesn't let anyone get a word in edgewise, and she is a really funny character. There's so many good ones. Could be there all day talking about.
Yeah, yeah. I have hit and miss with LibriVox.
Oh yeah, it's
You know,
because
yeah,
they're either really great or pretty hard to hear.
right. I and this is more of just a personal thing, but I don't like it when they do multiple narrators because then
Yeah.
the voices change between characters. And then I'm like, wait, which one was that
Yes.
again? Yeah, I
Okay, so
that's
you would like Mel Nicholson because she does do voices, but she is perfect at them,
oh
and it
yeah,
doesn't
and
just her.
yeah, I don't mind the voices. It's just like one reader's voice for a character will be different from the
Oh
previous
yeah.
one, and then one will have really good sound quality, and the other one sounds like they recorded on the first iPhone in a bathroom somewhere, you know. And
Oh,
like, wait, what
I
was it?
have.
What'd you say?
I've read a lot of
uh,
really bad readers. You just kind of get plug through it if you want to hear the book bad enough, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So what can you tell us about your Dickens in December reading
Yeah,
um,
so we
adventures?
this is our eighth year this year, I believe, and we start at the beginning of December, and we usually just do the first 3 weeks to give people kind of Christmas and the rest of the month to celebrate.
Hmm.
And we usually start out reading a couple of short stories, and then we do like a collaboration kind of thing of Dickens with somebody else or whatever, some other work of Dickens. We usually have about two or three short stories from other Victorian authors, and we try to find ones that no one's heard of before and sort of learn about them together, which is really fun. We
Hmm.
have videos and we have a photo challenges if people are interested in that kind of thing. And then we always read a Christmas Carol. It usually ends up being around the 15th of the month, just kind of like that week, the third week of the month. We read a Christmas
Hmm.
Carol together and we have sort of like explanatory videos about the process of Dickens writing it and different things about it. So yeah, it's
Hmm.
very fun. We have people from all over the world join us. It's so much fun. I love it.
All right, yeah, it's like Victober for Dickens, you know.
It really
It's
is.
great. Yeah,
It's like a little baby Victober, just in a little smaller
yeah,
scale.
yeah. Yeah, I want to say it was last year I came. Is that when you read Old Lady Mary? Was it last
I
year
think it was let's see.
or 2 years ago?
It might have been 2 years ago, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Christmases are usually pretty busy for me. So,
Yes. And I get
um,
that. That's why we
yeah.
try to do shorter, like, just little short stories. We have read some longer ones. That's right, because last year we read Charlotte Mary Young's The Christmas Mummers, and it's
Mm,
excellent, but it was long. It was like as long as A Christmas Carol. So
okay.
we try to not do too long. That would be about our limit, but because we know how busy December can be, so I get it.
Right. And I know, and you know, some of the problem is even finding the stories because some Christmas stories are like scary and better for Halloween, you know?
Right? I know. And I think we might be doing a little bit of a ghostly one this year just in as a nod
Yeah.
to that. We try to
Yeah.
keep a balance so that there's also that where we lean more into the cozy, but we do have a little bit of the spooky sometimes.
Right. Right. Yeah. I've been reading some of Trollope's Christmas stories. Because on my Christmas podcast, I like to read some of the old Victorian stories.
Uh-huh.
But uh, there's one I just read that is considered a Christmas story, but Christmas is only briefly mentioned, and that was it.
Did you know that Trollope did not like writing Christmas stories? He kind
Oh,
of
I
hated
didn't
it.
know
And
that.
they asked him to write Christmas stories for I can't remember what he was writing for at the time. And he would get really irritated and be like, "All right, fine." And he would put a little bit of Christmas in there and then just write one of his regular stories. But they're great. I actually love his
Yeah.
Christmas ones. Have you read Christmas at Thompson Hall
Yes.
yet? That's
Yeah.
my favorite. I love that one.
Oh, so good. Yeah. I mean, and that one feels very Christmassy. You know,
Yeah. It does
you're,
end with a Christmas kind of
yeah.
setting.
Even in
The
the
other's
whole
awesome.
they're traveling home for Christmas. I mean, how more
Yeah,
Christmassy can you get, right? And
exactly.
uh, one of
That's
them's just
a delightful story.
oh yeah, the husband who's just cranky about everything, and his poor wife trying to.
The
It's
mustard plaster. That's just so
yes, yes. That's one of my favorite Christmas stories for sure. But and I was hoping some of his other works would be like as Christmassy feeling and stuff. But yeah,
not
that
exactly.
explains a lot now. Now that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he had one good Christmas story in him, and then the rest of them, he's like, oh, it's fine. They are still good stories in their own right, but you can't go in
Right.
expecting a cozy Christmas vibe. It's just going to be a wonderful traditional trollop story.
Right. Right. Yeah, definitely. But well, okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here.
Yes, I took you
So
talking way too long. I'm sorry.
that's all right. That's what we're all about here. So again, so you've got your Dickens and Docs on Instagram.
Mhm.
You got Dickens in December coming up. You've been one of the co-hosts of Victober this year. Do you
Mhm.
have anything fun you're doing for Victober, or other than reading?
I I've been trying to read. I have a really big stack. I have like about 10 books. I don't
Mm,
know if I'll get through all of them. I'm going to hopefully go on a Victober hike, which I like to do every year, to
mm,
take my books out and take pictures of them with the fall leaves and stuff. So we'll see if the leaves cooperate. So far, they're not turning yet.
yeah,
It may be late in the season when when I go, but I'll
yeah.
try.
We're gonna have like weather in the upper 80s all week, which is stupid for Iowa. It's like,
Right.
come on.
I feel like the weather needs to get the memo. We need Victober to be nice and chill weather for sitting by the fire and
That's
wrapping up.
right. Not in front of the air conditioner.
Exactly.
All
Oh,
right. Well, Jess, thanks so much for being on today and for our other video collaboration. That'll be out probably towards the end of the month. You want to keep an eye out for that as well. So, well, thanks again for coming on.
thank you for having me. It's been delightful.